Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So I just finished a book that was a recommendation book from one of my friends, and uh, she was like, "It's a really good series, and I really need you to read it because I need somebody else that's read it to talk about what happens in the third book." So I just started the first book, I guess I should say I just finished the first book, and that is the series is the Legendborn cycle, the Legendborn series by Tracey, Deonn. So the first book in the series is called Legendborn. Very interesting concept. At first, I was like, I don't know about this. Like, just as I was reading it, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of how the story kind of gets started. It just seemed a little jumbled to me. But as the story went on, I was like, oh, and it was like I would figure something out, and then like something else would drop it. I'd be like, well, I guess I was wrong. So the whole story is about a girl named Bree or Brianna, and she is really struggling because she's just lost her mom, and the last thing that she knows happened is that she had a fight with her mom. And she's really struggling with the fact that her mother passed. She had a fight. The last thing she said to her was a lot of negative words. And so she's trying to find answers to this whole situation. And so she decides that she is going to apply to an early college program. She'd done it before her mother passed, but she applies to this early college program and she gets in. And then after her mother passes, she decides to go to the program more so to kind of fulfill this whole like thing of like following in her mom's footsteps because her mother went to UNC and all this stuff. And so while she's there, she starts getting pieces of memories back, and she's like, "Where are these memories coming from?" And it leads her on this journey and into infiltrating an order, like one of those campus secret societies. And this particular one is the Order of the Round Table, which is based in the lineage of King Arthur and Camelot and all that stuff. So very interesting kind of setup, interesting story that goes into the whole thing. So overall, I give it a 5 out of 5. I was trying to find a way to give it a, something a little bit lower, but it just doesn't, do it justice. Everything was so really well written, especially the fact that like, I would think I would figure something out and then something would happen and I'd be like, nope, didn't have it. I didn't think that was going to be the result. And so throughout the story, Bree is really just trying to find answers, and in her digging for herself, she finds other answers that she wasn't expecting, both for herself and for her friends. Definitely follows a lot of very similar stories to the King Arthur legend. So like if you've ever watched the TV show Merlin or something like that, like this falls right into that line. I was describing it to my best friend, and I was like, if Merlin and Supernatural had a baby, it would be this show, or this book. And it was really good, really well written. I think this is potentially the first book that the author has written and published, if not the second. But definitely doesn't feel like a first book. Feels like author has been working on things for a while. It is a little bit of a longer book, about 500 pages. But I feel like the story is really rich. There's lots of moving parts, lots of moving characters. And so that's really nice. What I really liked is the concept of King Arthur's bloodline being passed down through magic, and it being kind of held as this like very powerful group of people, and then weaving in a little bit of American history. So they and history of the development of UNC, University of North Carolina, and so I thought that was really well done. I know the author did attend UNC, so that kind of helps to add a little bit to that. But just talking about like how the line of King Arthur went, and the Knights of the Round Table, how it goes from England over to the United States and the colonies, and how it's kind of been infiltrated into UNC and a few of the other very old prestigious universities like, Harvard, William and Mary, things like that. What I also really liked, and this is, the twist that I wasn't expecting, is that, the whole story, you're being told that one of the people that Bree meets at the beginning is Nick. He is supposed to be her peer mentor. And I mean, we all saw it coming a mile away that he was definitely going to, fall in love with her or whatever. But what I liked about that is that they keep pushing this idea of he is Arthur, he is the king. And it goes the whole time. His father is like, he's a Pendragon. This is what his birthright is. And you're, destroying my plans and all the things. And at the end, you find out, or at the end of the first book, you find out that their lines actually got crossed due to enslavement and some mixed breeding. And so it was just very interesting the way that was kind of woven in there. And then also how different people react to that, especially in the South, because, the story does take place in the South. And there's a lot of discussion around that. So I thought that was really interesting. And really kind of cool to try and integrate that. I thought it was really well done. So yeah, overall, 5 out of 5. Really enjoyed the story. Enjoyed having another story where I definitely could relate to a lot of the things that Bree was going through. Not so much the loss of a parent and how you feel there, but just how people treat you when they see you in certain spaces. She talks about, she's infiltrating this order that is an all-white order, and how, she stands out, and people have some thoughts and some feelings, and the way that they react towards her. Some of the moms treat her initially as, just the help or whatever, and then they realize, oh, she's actually paging into the order, as they call it in the story. You become a page and then a squire, and then like one of the moms who actually treats her kind of nice initially turns on her at the end and is like, you're a little nappy headed whatever. And I was just like, wow. That's yeah, that whole like shift of like, I'll be kind and cordial just because you're here, but like the moment that you perceptually do something wrong is like, you a nappy headed whatever. So yeah, and I also really enjoyed the discussion, which I don't necessarily think it was warranted, but it was just kind of funny. There's several times where Bree is talking about like how tired she is, because story is told from her perspective, but she talks about how tired she is, but she has to wash her hair in the process of washing her hair. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think like every Black girl just like understood that, especially in college. Like the water pressure is not good enough in any college to properly wash your hair, and it's a mess, right? So I really enjoyed like those little small anecdotes that only as Black girls you would understand. But yeah, like overall story really great. Looking forward to the next book in the series. Really thankful to Gabby for recommending this book and the book series. Yeah, really enjoying it. Absolutely powerful. And good story. Good way to mix in a little bit of fantasy lore and also kind of destroy the lore a little bit. So I like when stories do that. So yeah, there you have it. As always, thank you so much for coming along this book journey as we are nearing the end of the year. This book is officially the 50th book of the year. So super excited that I've actually managed to get at least one book a week this year. So that is amazing. And as always, please feel free to comment any other book suggestions that you have. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose. Those of you that have popped over from my husband's channel, welcome. Here we do book reviews. So yeah, I think that's all I have. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next book review. Bye!